Hi, my name is Dave Johansson and I'm here at Blossom Hill Crafts. This is the third video of a three-part series on making pitchers. I'm going to demonstrate now how to put a handle on a pitcher. So here's a basic vessel that I'm throwing, and I'm going to put a handle on it. The first thing you have to do is make sure that your handle ends up directly across from your spout. It's a real bummer when they end up over here. It doesn't pour very well. So I just like to set my needle tool like that across the spout, give myself a little mark on here, and I want to make that mark big enough so I can see it. I can go back and rub it out later. It's a mistake to make it a little bit too light. Now, the handle is going to come off right underneath the lip right here, so I'm going to do a little bit of scoring. Now this scoring is supposed to be messy. It's not nice, neat little scoring with nice, neat little lines. Think of it like Velcro. You want to have lots of little hooks in the clay. Alright? And I also need to decide where the bottom of my handle is going to go. And I want to make sure that that handle ends up straight. In other words, I don't want the bottom of it over here or over here. I want it to fall straight down. I'm not going to score for that yet, but I am going to kind of give myself a nice mark in the clay that's very visual that I can see, so I know that I get my handle straight, because it's easy to get going here and sort of forget those things. So I've taken a piece of clay and I've rolled it into a coil that is kind of carrot shaped, okay? Always want to start with a carrot shaped piece of clay for your handle. One of the tricks I'll get you, a lot of people have a hard time rolling out a coil. If you have a piece of square clay and you twist it and you begin to roll it, it's going to very quickly become a nice coil for you, okay? So that's a trick to getting a nice coil, is to just kind of twist it and roll it. So I've got my coil of clay here. I want to make sure the fat end is rounded off. Okay, I've got it nice and rounded off. I'm now going to take my pitcher here and I'm going to get a little bit of slip. Maybe I've got some in the bottom of this, maybe some in my slip jar here. And I'm going to just put some slip in there, and I'm going to be generous with it. I can come back and clean that up later. This clay is much softer, so I don't need to worry about slipping the handle. But I do maybe want to score it a little bit. Okay? I'm just going to go through and score it again. I'm not worried about being neat. So what I'm going to do here is, holding the inside of my pot, I'm just going to push this piece of clay on to the pitcher. Get it on there real nice and firm. Okay? So I've got my handle now connected to my pitcher. And I've got some water here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this handle right off this pitcher. So it's going to come down. Now the important thing when I'm pulling a handle is that as I'm pulling the handle down with the water, I'm not stopping before I get to the end. I'm always pulling right off the end. You see how I just continue to go, okay? And I'm just going to continue to pull that clay down. If I start to get a fat spot at the bottom, I have to stop and cut that off quickly, because that weight will quickly pull my handle down and out of shape on me. Okay? Notice that I'm not stopping. I'm just pulling that. I'm just continuing to pull right off the bottom of that handle. There we go. Just continuing. So a nice handle tapers. It's a little thicker at the top. I guess we all have our own taste. People extrude handles out of the extruder sometimes. They tend to have one thickness from top to bottom, and I don't particularly like that, so I don't make my handles that way. So I pulled this until the point that I like it. You know, I could pull it thinner if I want. I'm going to stop right here for now. And I'm going to set my pitcher back up like this, getting it straight to my pot. And I'm now going to pull my thumbprint kind of through here. Okay? I'm going to just give myself a nice thumbprint kind of coming through my clay. Maybe I'm going to come over the top of this a little bit. All right. So there we go. Should have a rag, but I don't, so I'll just use my pants. And there we go, my handle. And now I've got to kind of decide on my shape a little bit. I'm going to bring it down to about in here somewhere. Right about down in there. All right, so now I need to slip and score. Remember, I made that mark down there earlier to show me exactly where that was so that my handle goes up and down vertically very nicely. I'm going to just put that right on there just like that. I'm going to push my finger. I'll be able to give this handle more shape in a minute, making sure that I'm on there straight. I'm going to push my hand on there just like that and pinch that off just like that. I'll come back and straighten that up in a minute. So now there I've got my handle, and now I can kind of give it some shape that I want to give it. And if I want to take and begin to mess with this shape in here, I can do that. I'm just going to roll it down, maybe come like this, and there we go. When the pot becomes leather hard, you can continue to shape it and give it any kind of a shaped handle that you want to give it. But there you go. That's the basics of putting a handle on a pot. I'm Dave Johansen, and this is Blossom Hill Crafts. Have a great day.